Taking this panel off. 2016 Hyundai Tucson. Window keeps dropping down. I already did the left back, which is the driver's side back. This is the right front. And so you got to know which ones you're getting when you replace this. The little white thing with the grooves on it. So make sure if you're going to do the driver's side, it's the left front. There's no markings on these things. It's just, you'll see where the cables go. But you've got to make sure, otherwise they're not universal. You get them on Amazon, eBay. So to take this off, I took the speakers off. Panel's already off. It's no big deal. You just pull it. There's one screw that goes in the or the door handle is where you put your hand to like to close the door. There's a little button down there. You pop it off with a small screwdriver. There's a screw in there. You take it off. Then you just grab this panel down by the bottom and yank it real hard, or use a screwdriver or whatever. Now you got to take this thing off. So I already took this off. This is where the open and close the door. So these are going to have to get pulled out when I pull this panel. They go through that panel. Now I had to take these off. There's a special tool for this, where you get a small pair of needle nose. And you squeeze these with the needle nose, push, pull up, and they come out of the hole. No big deal, you know. You don't really need a special tool, but if you want a special tool, go buy a special tool. Big thing you got to do is disconnect the battery, negative first, then positive. This is the sensor. I believe it's for the airbag. So you get hit, this thing pops, senses the airbag, blows. So if you pull this while it's hot with a battery, you might get lucky and not blow the airbag, but I take a chance. You just take the negative off, then the positive. Reverse it when you're putting it back on. So the other one you got to do is you got to take this off. It's in between the door. See this little part up here? It's down. Take a screwdriver, just push it up. Good size screwdriver. Pull this out. It's gonna come out. If it don't, we're in trouble. Make sure the door's open wide enough. You can take this off if you wanted to widen the door, but I really don't think it's necessary. So I'm gonna get that out. And that's got to go through that rubber thing. So we're gonna push that through there. That's why you gotta take the speaker off. So pull our thing through here. Pull it through. That way it's going to disconnect this thing, so we can just pull it out. No, wait a minute. It comes through here. That's right. You still got to take your speaker off, but it comes through here. So that thing on the side comes through here. This is the wiring thing. Disconnect the thing that goes to the mirror. Pull that through. Inside this thing, pull this rubber off. Get that rubber off. Then we pull that thing through. What else was I gonna do? Oh, this is where the mirror or the window disconnects from the. There's a plastic thing. There's two on this one. There's two on the front. There's only one on the back. So you see the hole here, the hole there. When you lower the window, there's going to be a nut here, and it's plastic, and it collapses, holds the window. The same one on this side. If you take the screw off, it loosens. So now it releases the window. So that way you get this panel off. But you got to take this panel off. It's actually easier if you can take the panel off. I did the back with it on, but then you're pushing on the plastic which later I'll show you why it's a pain in the butt. But I did it. And I did a video, if you want to watch it. It'll help you with the back panel. So, hope I'm not moving around too fast. I'm just showing you the whole panel. The outside panel, like I said, it just pops off. There's nuts, little bolts, I should say, that go in here. There's a little thing here, popped off, broke off. It's just something the factory, I imagine they did it, the line pops in and lines this up so they can put the bear or the bolts in. Because they're going with the air wrenches as fast as possible because the car is moving as it moves down the line. So I'm going to stop there, pause. So to show you, you see the little rubber boot. It's easier to push it in. Pushing it in. I know it's dark, but pushing it in and up. And the whole thing and up. Pushing this thing through. And but it's gone. I'm going to get my hand in here to the speaker. Like I said, this is one of the reasons why the speaker's out. So I'm going to pull this. Voila! The thing's out. The thing goes on the side of the door. I just came through that hole. You see that hole there with a rubber boot. If I can show you a rubber boot. There's a rubber boot that held it on. They said it was easier to push it through than to pull it out. Pain in the butt. It'd be very interesting to go back on, huh? Very interesting. God, things are moving. Everything's moving. Now, I gotta get it up through here. Snagged. Snagged. There's a piece of metal it's jammed up on. Hold on. There's a piece of metal in here. When you're pulling it up through here, I'm going to give you a real, sorry it's going to go upside down. Let's see if you can see in there. Piece of metal. Let me turn the light on. See a piece of metal? That thing's got to go up. Once I get it up through this hole, you got to go kind of through that piece of metal. No big deal. You feel it with your hand as you're going through the speaker hole. And after you get that, this thing comes up. And voila, you got it off. Only thing we got to do now is take that off. And when I pull the panel off, this wiring harness got to go through there. And that piece up there, I had to grab it with a pair of pliers. I couldn't get my hand inside there to squeeze that piece there, but it'll go in, back in when I need to put it back together. But now, as I pull this panel apart, I gotta feed everything through there. So I'm gonna pull that grommet off. After I get done, I'll push everything through like that and just keep feeding the wires through. And keep doing that. get all the wires in. And I'm going to be in the process of taking this thing off. Now these got to go. As this panel pulls off, these will go through those holes. Easier said than done, huh? You see the window's coming down. I'm lowering it. I'm holding it with this hand, again, through the speaker hole. And as it comes down, in this one hole, you gotta see a nut. And you're gonna leave that right about there. You can move it up and down with your hand with the glass. Now, in this hole, there was already one. I took it off. I'm hoping it fell down in the lip of the door. So I'm gonna take this nut off. And I got the window down. When it comes off those plastic things, it falls. So make sure you have your hands so you don't want to break that window. I'm gonna take these for the handle. I'm gonna stuff these little grommets through here like that. Just keep working your way through so you got them in. So you got them in like that, and just keep working your fingers through until you get them in. Now when I take this panel off, this panel will just come right off with this thing here. So remember, I gotta get my wires through yet, so that's what I'm gonna do now. After you get those through, I still gotta get these wires the rest of the way. Inside, there's another little cable. Get my needle nose, squeeze them together and pull that off. Then I get the pin. A little tip here, see where that part goes on the window? This nut, bolt, are the only two that have a Phillips, place for a Phillips screwdriver. All the ones that go around the side of that panel are like this, but with no Phillips. It's no really big deal. I just think that it's somebody figured it'd easier to put a Phillips screwdriver through there, but I put a wrench, socket wrench, and so it'll come out easier. So, that aside, left the bolt in the one here on this side. That's the part that goes on the window. There's where the speaker goes. And there's where the old piece went. That way, goes in that hole like that. But now when you wrap these cables around, yes, you do put it on every groove here. Like I said, one end goes one way, the other end goes the other way. You'll see where it goes that way. It's obvious it goes to the left, this way around. The other side, it goes inside. As you're looking down, it's right around that corner, right there. Goes inside there and then wraps around this way. So you go both different directions, and that's for when it goes up and down, it's turning. So yes, the cable goes in every one of those grooves. So what happens is, this is very tight. You get up to the top here, or the bottom, wherever you want to do. I don't care which one you're going to do, but I'm going to do the top, which that's what I did with the last one. And it's not going to have the cable in it. So if I take the cable out, it's going to be, after I get it all wound up, it's going to be down here. No way you're going to stretch that thing up like that. No way. So what I do, hold on a second. I had to file this one needle nose pliers down, as you can see, so they're even. The reason for that is the Phillips is going to fit into these grooves. And it's going to be on this side of the cable. You're going to put one in there and one in there. And then that is going to slowly take the cable that's on that side, but it's going to be way down there, and you're going to turn this with these needle nose. And see those grooves there in that? You're going to put the piece of the wire right there, and then you're going to push up like this and put it in. I'm going to show you. I'm just giving you a little tip before it, while it's still loose. Then I'll kind of show you what it's like putting on when it's tight. Giving you a heads up. Pain in the ass. But it's easier with this panel on the ground, because you can leave this panel hanging out the door, but then you don't have nothing to push on when you're pushing down on that Phillips screwdriver, or not Phillips, the needle nose plier, to twist that piece of cable around. So let me get all the stuff situated. I'll show you winding that thing. You gotta make sure all these cables are on, or you're gonna lose where they go. See how they go like an X, and they go in those little grooves. They're not just going up and down this piece of plastic, they're actually going in those grooves. There's one. There's a groove there. I think there's a groove on this side. And there's a groove right there. So that wire's going to go in there. There's another one. Don't see another one. There's what? 1, 2, 3. 3 grooves. There's only 2 grooves on the back door. Alright, let me get this started. And I'll get right back to you. I'm going to show you why you got to get these right. Here's the old one. There's a little piece right here. See it? And the cable comes out here. This is a new one. Same way. See it? Now this is the right front. So that'd be the passenger front door. Now, this is the left rear. Left rear. See it? You know, the little notch goes in there and the cable comes out this way. There's no way you can make that work. So, they're not universal. Like I said, that's the right rear. This is the, actually, left. That was the left rear. This is the right front, the new right front. So I had the same thing looking like that last piece I just showed you when I replaced the left rear door. You get these on Amazon individually, so altogether for 2 of them might be $77 change with tax, shipping. You can buy 4 of them a pack for every door if you're going to replace every door. It's 120. Last time I looked on eBay, it was they're on sale for 108. So if you need to replace all 4, or if you were in the business, buy all 4. Cheaper. But I didn't need all 4. So let me get started. I'm coming out to the bottom and put in here. And it's going to go this way. And then I will wrap it around that way. Probably about 3 wraps. And then I'll take that one up there. And I'll put it on this side. And I'll wrap it the way that it goes. And then when I get them all wrapped, I'll hold it. Hold the cables because they'll fly off if you don't hold the cables. And I'll shove it in there, snap it in place. So, when you get done, you're going to have something like that. You see how every one of them is wrapped. So when you get done, you get this. Now we got to shove it back in that hole. And then I'll show you the other side. Okay. I'm going to show you. See how you got your things? I'm going to go down to the pulley. And go up to another pulley. Down to that pulley. And back up. And guess what? See how short we are? This is a pain in the butt. But if I can, I'll show you how to use the needle nose to stretch this on. I mean talking about stretches. You're stretching this on. Now, see how I got it on? Now I gotta get the wire down. See those notches? I'm gonna get this right closest to me on this side. I'm gonna put it in one of those notches, and then I'm just gonna turn with these needle nose. And see why, when I talked about filing it down before, the one nose on the needle nose was wider than the other one, so I had to file it down so it fit in there. That way it fits in these little notches perfect. So now I'm going to push that down and hopefully get this on.